Welcome back everybody to a special episode in association with the Blu-ray brothers. Today I'm going to do a little special on Kurosawa, and I'm going to look at the BFI box set Kurosawa Classic Collection and my top 7 Kurosawa films. So let's get started with the box set. Well, this box set is released by BFI, who do quite a lot of Kurosawa films. They even have some Blu-rays now. But yeah, this is one of the 3 Kurosawa box sets as far as I know. There's the Classic Collection, Samurai Collection and the Crime Collection. I'm looking at the Crime one myself. But this is the Classic Collection. This is a 5-disc set, and as for the films, they're definitely great choices. However, there is one in here that I haven't seen yet myself, and that film is Dodes'ka-dan, that came out in 1970, which was Kurosawa's first colour film. The reason for not having watched it yet is because I've heard quite bad things about it. Apparently this is his failure film. What's really fascinating is that Kurosawa, during this time of making the film and when the film came out, he had been going through a rough time in his life, and due to the negative reaction that the film had, it even caused him to try and commit suicide in the late September of 1970, I think it was. It says so in the booklet in this. He did make another film in Japan for another 10 years, and his 1975 film Dersu Uzala was filmed in the Soviet Union. Moving on to the other 4 films, they're all great, and 2 here are definitely some of my favourites. Ikuru, which I've talked about before in my favourite directors list, is a story about a man who gets diagnosed with cancer, and we look at the aspects of his life and what he deals with. We look at guilt, the regret he has, and just pure melancholy comes out of this happening to him. I Live in Fear is a fascinating film to watch now in retrospective, and it's definitely something to look at historically. This film shows the effect that Hiroshima had on the world, and of course especially Japan. The film focuses on a Japanese family that escaped to Brazil to avoid a nuclear holocaust, which the father of the family thinks is forthcoming. The Lower Depths looks at the slum life of a group of characters. There's lots of conflict involved, and it examines the conflict of comforting illusion and the harsh reality. Redbeard, as I've talked about before, is one of my favourite Kurosawa films quite easily, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, Redbeard's a great film about a young apprentice doctor going to learn at a mental clinic, where he meets Redbeard, the head doctor there. He has unorthodox methods of healing. In terms of special features in this box set, it is quite lacking. There's really nothing there on the making of the film or anything. However, there are some introductions from Alex Cox on each film, which is quite good to introduce you to Kurosawa's films, obviously. But what is nice is, we've got the nice slip sleeve. We have a booklet, as I said there, and it's got essays from Philip Kemp on the film, who has done introductions on some of the DVD BFI releases, which I know of. However, some are basically copy and pasted, it seems. But yes, the essays are quite interesting in reading on the film. And this overall is the 25-page booklet about the film. Definitely a good read. And that's the inside. You can see there. In terms of picture quality, it's nothing spectacular, but it is quite a well restored box set. Each film looks fine, and the sound quality is just fine too. And it could be better, but overall, you know, it's a good restoration. Definitely makes the films more accessible today. Overall, I would say this is a brilliant box set, and for only around £20, it's an absolute bargain. If you want to buy these films individually, you know, be £5 to £8. And yeah, this is definitely a good box set. I look forward to getting the other ones in the BFI series. If you haven't seen Kurosawa's films, this is definitely a good buy to get started. And now moving on to my top 7 Kurosawa films. I thought it would be a good number, seeing as Kurosawa has a film called Seven Samurai. So, here are my top 7 Kurosawa choices. Number 7 is Sanjuro. This is a loosely based sequel to Yojimbo, and that is supposedly the name of the main character. Generally, he is a man with no name and improvised the name when he was asked. This is a great film and I enjoyed it just a little more than Yojimbo. It has all the action of the last film and that underlying humour that made Yojimbo such a treat. Mifune and the rest of the cast are excellent, and overall this one is a playful samurai movie from Kurosawa, and it has one of the most unforgettable movie endings. Coming in at number 6 is The Hidden Fortress. This one really surprised me, and as the film went on I just enjoyed it more and more. What I find very interesting is the influence this film had on George Lucas. The BFI DVD release contains an introduction from him, and when we compare the film to Star Wars Episode 4, you can definitely see the influence the film had on it. The film is from the lowest character's point of view, and much bigger stuff is happening around them, he says, which is like the film's C-3PO and R2-D2 characters. The Hidden Fortress might be Kurosawa's funniest film, and seeing the love-hate relationship of the two bickering characters throughout the film is very funny to watch. They're like the Japanese Laurel and Hardy, if I could go as far to say that. The action is also fantastic, and Kurosawa's terrific use of the camera comes into play. Shots panning, zooming, low angles, close-ups, capturing all this action, bringing us closer to the 19th century set adventure. Fun, huge in scope, and wide in scope, this being Kurosawa's first widescreen film, The Hidden Fortress has not dated at all. Number 5 for me is Ikiru. As I mentioned earlier, Ikiru is about a Japanese businessman who is diagnosed with cancer. It is devastating news to him, and we see his struggle telling his family. He wanders around town hopeless, and ultimately the film makes us question our own existence. It truly examines how fragile a human life is. This is a very touching story that definitely works universally. At its emotional core, this is a great Kurosawa film that I am sure even those who know nothing about Japanese cinema will have an emotive response. Coming in at number 4 is Ran. Treachery, bloodshed, family conflict, remorse and chaos. All of these are to be seen in Kurosawa's Ran and more. I was blown away by this film and quickly became one of my favourite Kurosawa films. The story is a combination of Shakespeare's King Lear play and the legends of Daimyo Mori Motonari in 16th century Japan. Daimyo being a territorial lord, this film shows the character Hayatara, a warlord splitting his kingdom between his 3 sons, but arguments and conflicts quickly begin when the sons disagree with one another and Hayatara. Without spoiling much, from here we look at a family completely caving in on itself and a brilliant examination of war and consequence. Visually, this is honestly one of Kurosawa's best. Filming in locations such as Mount Fuji and Mount Aso, Kurosawa captures vast lands and beautiful views, but also shows utter destruction in some scenes that really contrasts with this. The action is brilliant and is reminiscent of his previous films like The Seven Samurai and The Hidden Fortress, using similar techniques that include the low angles of running horses, looking up into the sky, and muting the action, which really makes us look at what's happening in the scene. It is easy to go on talking about the film and its many themes, but I'll end with just saying it's a truly remarkable film that is both thrilling and powerful, and its message of war is timeless. At number 3 for me is Seven Samurai. No top Kurosawa film list is complete without this title at least making it into the top 5. This is his most well received film and his most known, and it's easy to see why. Stylistically brilliant, thrilling, funny and completely bursting with energy, it makes a great entry to Japanese cinema when exploring it. The story involves a small village of people who are being attacked by bandits who steal their food and crops. On the brink of starvation, they scout samurai to protect them. I absolutely love this film, and talking about it makes me want to watch it again. The film has so many highlights and great scenes, such as the scene where the villagers are testing people on their reflex with hiding behind a doorway and hitting them over the head with a stick, and the film's last hour, which is very well constructed. Seven Samurai is an absolute essential for anyone interested in film. Number 2 is Rashomon. This one has plenty of rewatch value and is definitely one that challenges its viewers. When a monk, a woodcutter and a man take refuge under the city gate on a very rainy day, they discuss a murder trial. We are told the story through 3 accounts, including the woodcutter, the woman whose husband was involved in the murder, and the supposed murdering bandit involved. What the film does is something unprecedented in cinema at the time, which is now known as the Rashomon effect. The theme of the inconsistency of truth could not be more true to life. It is human nature to lie is one of the many quotes in the film, and says a lot about the human soul. We have many reasons to lie, and sometimes we enter a stage of denial, where the truth becomes shrouded and we convince ourselves we are not lying, which we know as compulsive lying. The performances and cinematography once again are brilliant as always, and I seriously recommend people to watch this one. It is a mind bender and one that lingers in your mind long after viewing. And finally, my number one choice is Redbeard. This meditative film explores the human condition. It looks at our interaction with one another, our emotions, and how we help each other. Kurosawa's Redbeard is packed with themes of suffering, mourning, fractured minds, and despair. It sounds like a very grim film, which it is to an extent, but Kurosawa remembers to put in some heart and humour. One scene we have a throwback to Toshiro Mifune's earlier career in a fighting scene, which I thought was very well choreographed. Towards the end, in another scene, I actually burst out laughing. It involved one woman hitting another woman over the head with a vegetable that broke with the impact, and it doesn't sound as funny when describing it, but when you watch the film you understand. Everything we see in the film is hard to forget, from the aforementioned fight scene to the words of a dying man. The range of emotion in this film is what makes it such a unique film, and another masterpiece at that. Redbeard is enlightening, spiritually, and a film I think more people should definitely see, especially Kurosawa fans. Thank you so much everyone out there who watched this video, and I hope I spread the love of Kurosawa a little bit. All the films on this list I highly recommend, and seriously watch them if you're into cinema. And if you're looking to explore Japanese cinema, all these films are a good start, I would say. I will put a link below to all the Kurosawa films I've ever reviewed on Letterboxd, and you can see my thoughts a little bit more in depth on some films like Ran, for instance. So that's it for this video guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, I'll see you then.